Football with friends is fun as hell. My name is Alex Dunlap here with Cody Carpentier on a big Monday. It is a big Monday, man. We got a ton to talk about today. Middle of the offseason, dead of May. Cody, we're about to get blasted with 107-degree temperatures here in Central Texas in the Hill Country. But we keep the content rolling here. So pumped to be here with you guys on Orange Bloods Live. Wanted to start out today. We're going to talk about the Fox announcing the Texas-Ohio State game. It's looking like big noon, although I'm not sure we have an official announcement as much as we have reports from insiders saying it's looking that way. Cody has thoughts on the Rivals 250 updates for the 2027 class. And also there was Josh Pate came out with his top 20 rankings today. I listened to that podcast. I certainly have thoughts. Definitely interesting ranking he has on Oklahoma coming into this season. But I want to start out with this stuff I had. I was filling in for Anwar this week in his column, The Sunday Pulpit. And because Anwar has been on vacation, he just got back today. And in doing so, I was just kind of thinking about how, speaking of Josh Pate, got a couple of mentions of Pate here, but speaking of him, I was just thinking about that interview that he did last week with Sark. And the stuff about how Sark was coming into year 5 here at Texas, and he kind of felt like how he said, like, Ryan Day, those guys, they're ahead of us in their cycle and what they've built and what Kirby has built and, what all these guys have built. And, they're ahead of us in their cycle, and our cycle here at Texas has just begun. Right. And so I just got to thinking to myself, okay, if Sark really feels like it's like his cycle's just begun. And if we think Sark has ascended to being one of the best coaches in college football, or at least on the right there on the edge of being one of the best coaches in college football, right? Certainly on his way. What can looking at the successful coaches of the, since the turn of the century, in the 21st century, because obviously we can't look back at Bear Bryant or something like that. It's a whole different landscape. To be honest, the landscape is a lot different even between, early 2000s till now. It's different from 2019 and now. But I just figured if we just kind of look at these other guys, like where were they coming into year 5? What were their biggest accomplishments? And Cody, I'd be interested to hear from you. The guys that I chose to look at here as when I was just thought about it and kind of researched it a little bit, I thought the coaches that would be good to kind of measure him up against would be Nick Saban at Alabama, where he was at coming into year 5 and what he did year 5, right? Pete Carroll at USC, Urban Meyer at Florida, Kirby Smart at Georgia, Bob Stoops at Oklahoma, Dabo at Clemson, Jimbo Fisher at Florida State, Les Miles at LSU, Mac Brown at Texas, Ryan Day at Ohio State, Jim Tressel at Ohio State, and Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. And the ones I kind of wanted to add, I was thinking about adding Frank Beamer, and I was thinking about adding Bill Snyder, because those guys were good during the 2000s, right? But their first 5 years were like back in the 1980s.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can we really compare that? Is there anybody you think I left off the list?
Well, so what was I guess, how did you come to the list? Is how I should ask.
Just looked at the best coaches.
Well, I would say Bobby Bowden would be one that I would consider,
but he would have started.
70s.
Yeah, he would have started like in the
70s.
Yeah, and I just wanted to do it of this century, right?
Hey, Bowden coached until 2009.
Right. But that's the thing. Like Snyder coached too, right? And I also wanted to make. I was thinking about putting Chris Peterson on there, but I'm like, that's not really. I'm not sure that that's a one for. I'm not sure that that's a one for Sark, because I wanted to have it be at schools where you don't have to climb a mountain to be able to get your team to a national championship.
I think Frank Beamer's definitely one.
But
Frank Beamer.
His first year at Virginia, his first year
there. It took him 5 years to get over the top, didn't it?
I don't know.
Was it year?
What was his 5th year? 1993.
So 87 was his first year at Tech. He went 2-9, 3-8, 6-4, 6-5, 5-6, 2-8. That was his first 8 years. And then he cracked through. And I think that was the big thing that Josh Pato was brought up talking about, like Shane Beamer and like different guys that in this modern era, Frank Beamer would have never gotten the chance in the modern era to like actually win because he was average to below average for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. And then he went 9-3. And then they broke through. It was 9-3, 8-4, 10-2, 10-2. Mike Vick walks in, they go 11-1, 11-1 in the early 2000s. And then he goes on a tear from 04 to 2011 or whatever
See,
it was.
it's a different time now. I can't compare those guys.
100%. It's an entirely different format. But I think as far as like just thinking about historical coaches, I do think of Bowden. I think of Beamer. Snyder, of course, but he's old as a bag.
I think I've got it pretty good.
What about Whittingham?
I mean, I maybe could have done that, but I mean,
it's a little bit different. It's a little bit. Let me look up what Whittingham was quick.
To be honest, I didn't even think about Kyle Whittingham.
So he went. Oh, this is interesting. So he co-coached one game at Utah after Urban Meyer.
Okay.
That doesn't. I'm gonna X out that year because it was just one win. It was a bowl game. So 2005, 7-5, 8-5, 9-4, 13-0 undefeated. 2008, year 4. Year 5, 10-3, 10-3, 8-5. Then he dumps down 5-7.
That could have been a good one to examine. But so here's what I went and examined. I said, I just thought to myself, okay, so what are the signs that your program is a contender, right? Like a team that's in the mix, a team that's live for a championship, like not necessarily you might finish like number 12 in the nation or whatever, but like you were a contender, at least maybe at some point during the season. And here's how I did it. And this is kind of an order, right? I said, well, 10 like a 10-win season, double-digit win seasons, right? Conference championship appearances. And what I did for this was prior to 2011, I counted finishing second in the conference in the Pac-10 and in the Big Ten as having a conference championship appearance because they didn't have a conference championship game until 2011, right? And so if you finish second in the league, that means that you would have had a conference champion appearance at the very least, right? Conference championships won, CFP semifinal appearances, and clearly that only goes back to 2014. So prior to 2014, when the first iteration of the 4-game CFP started, I just said, okay, a CFP semifinal appearance is just an appearance in like the second best BCS game, in like the in the appetizer BCS game, right? And then national championship appearances and national championships. So those are the things: 10-win seasons, conference championship appearances, conference championships, CFP semifinal appearances, national championship appearances, and straight up national championships. So if we look at Coach Sark so far, 5-7. 8-5, and then in 2023 he goes 12-2. He was the Big 12 champ. He was a CFP semifinal appearance. 2024, 13-3, SEC championship appearance and CFP semifinals appearance. So over only 4 years, the total number of these accomplishments that he's gotten to at Texas so far is 6. Right, a 10-win season in 2023, a 10-win season in 2024, a Big 12 championship, an SEC championship appearance, and 2 CFP semifinal appearances. All right. So he's averaged like 1.5 per season so far. If we prorated it, he'd be like a 7.5. So let's just go through those guys that I talked about, right? Again, Sark is at 6 through only 4 seasons. Nick Saban, 7 year 1. So he started in 2007 at Alabama. Year 1, 7-6. Year 2, 12-2 with an SEC championship appearance. Year 3, 14-0, SEC champs and national champs. Year 4, 10-3. Year 12, 12-1 and national champion. Okay. Pete Carroll started in 2001 at USC. And Pete Carroll, now all this stuff has been vacated for the most part, but man, he's not the GOAT, but like he's very, very, very accomplished. So year 1, 6-6. Year 2, 11-2. Pac-12 championship appearance, CFP semifinals appearance with the quotation marks or with the asterisk next to it, right? Second tied for the big Pac-10 championship and played in the second best BCS game. Okay. 2003 Pac-10 and national champion. 2004 Pac-10 and national champion. 2005 Pac-10 champs, national championship appearances, and those last 4 seasons were all at least 10 win seasons, right? So he had a total of 12 of these accomplishments. Urban Meyer at Florida, 9-3, and then 13-1. He was SEC and national champion in year 2. Then 9-4 in year 3. In year 4, he was 13-1, SEC and national champion. In 2009, his 5th year, he was 13-1. He had an SEC championship appearance. Okay, that's a total of 8. Again, we said Sark is at 6 after only 4 seasons. Kirby Smart after his first 5 seasons, he goes 8-4 in year 1. In year 2, he goes 13-2, where he's an SEC champ and he has a national championship appearance. In year 3, he's 11-3 with an SEC championship appearance. In year 4, 12-2 with an SEC championship appearance. Year 5, 8-2. That's a total of 7. Bob Stoops at Oklahoma, 1999, his first season. He goes 7-5. Year 2, 13-0 with a Big 12 and a national championship. Year 3, 11-2. Year 4, 12-2 and Big 12 champs. Year 5, 12-2 Big 12 championship appearance and a national championship appearance. Total of 9. Dabo, his first season, he had an ACC championship appearance at 9-5. Year 2, he goes 6-7. Year 3, 10-4 and ACC championship. His year 4 and year 5, 2012 and 2013, 11-2 and 11-2. Total 5 accomplishments over his first 5 seasons. Jimbo Fisher at Florida State. His first season, he had an ACC championship appearance. He went 10-4. 2011, he goes 9-4. 2012, 12-2 and ACC champs. Year 4, 14-0, ACC and national championship. Year 5, ACC champs and a CFP semifinals appearance. All right. That's a total of 10 over 5 years. Les Miles at LSU. Started out 11-2 with an SEC championship appearance. 2006, year 2, 11-2 with the CFP semifinals appearance. So second best BCS game. 2007, he goes 12-2. He's the SEC champ. He's the national champ. 2008, 2009, he goes 8-5 and 9-4. Mac Brown at Texas is one of the least, and that was a total of 7. So 7 total accomplishments. Mac Brown, one of the least, accomplished here as far as his first 5 years. He goes 9-3. Year 2, he goes 9-5 with a Big 12 championship appearance. Third year goes 9-3, and his year 4 and year 5 goes 11-2 in both, but only 1 Big 12 championship appearance across both those seasons. That's a total of 4 of our stated accomplishments. Okay, Ryan Day at Ohio State, 8 total accomplishments. We don't have to go through them all. Jim Tressel, 8 total accomplishments. Jim Harbaugh, only 3 total accomplishments. No conference championship appearances, none of this stuff, right? The only thing that he had was 10-3 seasons, 2015, 2016, 2018. So what does it mean? It means that as things stand, Sark has been more successful over 4 seasons than Jim Harbaugh, Mac Brown, and Dabo Swinney were in their first 5 seasons, right? If Sark were to accomplish just 2 of these things in year 5 without winning a national championship, clearly winning the national championship is the big thing here, right?
Yeah.
His 5-year career arc coming into year 6 would look almost exactly like Ryan Day or Kirby Smart, who during their first 5 seasons had, because think about it, Sark is probably going to get
right.
What?
If he won the championship, he'd be equal to Stoops.
Yeah. So if he does not win a national championship in year 5, he's looking like he has a 5-year career arc right now that looks almost exactly like Ryan Day or Kirby Smart. Because think about it, to be able to get, he has 6 accomplishments right now. You got to put, so he's averaged 1.5 per season when you consider even the fact that includes the 5 and 7 season and the 8 and 6 season with no other accomplishments.
Yep.
If he gets to 10 wins, he's probably going to get at least an SEC championship appearance. And then who even knows from there as far as the CFP semifinal or even possibly the national championship, right? Somebody's asking, Big Cheddar Gibson is asking about Notre Dame. The reason I didn't look at Brian Kelly at Notre Dame is because I didn't think it was fair, because he's not eligible for a conference championship appearance or a conference championship game. So he doesn't really fit into this structure just because of Notre Dame being an independent.
And half their games were vacated in his first 5 years.
Yeah. So you figure if Sark gets to 10 wins, he's going to get to probably at least 2 more accomplishments that would put him at 8, right? Now, if that's with no national championship, over his first 5 years with these accomplishments, you have Bob Stoops, or I'm sorry, you have Kirby Smart, who had 7, and you had Ryan Day, who, what did I say? He had 8. So 7 or 8 puts him kind of ahead of where Kirby was, right at where Ryan Day was.
Both of which won their championship in year 6.
Yes, I should mention that. Yep, for sure, because there was the next year that Kirby did, the next year that Ryan Day did. That's a very good point. If he were to win a championship this season, and he could put himself in that sort of tier, right? Then we're talking about he's FSU era Jimbo Fisher or Bob Stoops. He's in that bucket, right? 8-ish, 9-ish accomplishments, along with a national championship in the first 5 years. The only thing keeping him out of the Pete Carroll, Nick Saban, Urban Meyer conversation at this point is a lack of multiple. He will not have multiple national championships in his first 5 seasons.
Yeah,
but after doing the analysis, man, I think to myself, I mean, there've been 300. There've been 300 head coaches since the turn of the century at Texas on the sidelines, and we're talking about him, whether he's in a bucket with the guys who were top 5 to 7 so far, just based on his accomplishments, or the guys who were top 4 or 5 and basically 4 and 5, right? The only ones that we can consider as being sort of untouchable right now, and Pete Carroll's a lot have been vacated, would be Saban, would be Carroll, and would be Urban Meyer. And it's just, peak Florida Urban Meyer. To me, it's just, it was eye-opening. People complain about Sark and they say, the play calling in the red zone and stuff. I just think to myself, I'm like, dude, you just look at what he's accomplished. It's coming into year 5, he profiles extremely well. It is, but I mean, just don't cook your steak well. Cook it rare. Have you been to Texas Beef Traders? I know some of you did. I saw some of you up there this weekend. I tweeted out, you never know what's going to happen. They had a big wine tasting at Texas Beef Traders. This guy came in from these wines from Uruguay. They were delicious, man. I met somebody up there that said that he heard about it on the show. So thanks to I forget it. I'm sorry. His name was so unique, but I forgot what it was. But shout out to him. I think he was impressed by the place. They were cooking up picanha steaks, Cody, hand them out free to everybody. Shay was up there. He brought up some like seafood he had left over from one of his cooking events. And they were doing that on the Blackstone, cooking up steaks on the grill. That's you never know what's going to happen whenever you show up at Texas Beef Traders. You do know that you're going to get 10% off your steak, and you get the freshest beef that you can find. Even if it's hamburger, it's going to be steakhouse quality hamburgers that for you and your family, or meatballs, whatever it is that you want. Just so delicious. Cody, did you have a question?
What's his name? Garzone?
That could have been it. That could have been it.
I was just.
It was a. Oh no. That's the name of the wine, but it was a Hispanic name. I just forgot it. Sorry.
Pretty kick-ass steaks though.
Oh, always, man. My son just couldn't believe it. It's always the best. We have some really cool stuff coming up with Texas Beef Traders, so make sure and stay tuned for all of that. But go over there, go see him. You get 10% off every time you go in by telling them that you heard about him here. And as soon as they get those hats back, I'm going to send the care package out to the guy that won the SEC pick'em before the next season starts, because he said that that's what he wants. But the hats are on back order like everything else. All right. So that's where we are on Sark. Cody, let's talk about the Rivals 250.
The Rivals 250 had a big update for 2027 over the weekend, aka this morning is when it all came out. And my biggest pet peeve came with this. So first off, just to note, there's 9 Texas kids in the top 30 for 2027, which is pretty big. Here's my pet peeve. They have rankings made, all right? 2027. Just this current class that my mouse is dead. That's cool. The 2020, the 2026 class is the current upcoming class that has Diabell, Chris Stewart, etc. Right. The 2027 class is Peyton Houston.
You're gonna need your mouse for this.
Booby. I know. I'm using the pad now. I got it now.
Okay,
Booby Feaster. What's that?
That's a good luck, man. I hate it when this happens.
I know, but it's all right. I got my mouse pad. I can use
right.
my pad, unlike you. So the 2027 class was supposed to be Booby Feaster. It's Peyton Houston. It's guys like this, right? And they had a massive update. And this is my pet peeve. And I compared it to in the comments. I said this over on Orange Bloods. To me, it's just like PFF grades. It's a whole bunch of random movements that happen on the back end that are irritating as hell to me, and I'll explain why. So upon their newest update, this is the biggest mover in the top 250. John Meredith III, a cornerback from Euless, Texas, from Trinity, 6'2", 170 pounds.
Is he Pacific Islander?
John Meredith. No,
Doesn't sound like it.
No, he's not. He's not. So he moved up to player overall number 5. Can you guess how many spots this player moved up in the top 250?
I already know. It's like 200 and something.
224 spots. So here's the stats. In the top 35, 10 guys moved up more than 50 spots in the top 35. So these guys, that means they were at least 85 or further back, and now they're inside the top 35, up 50 plus spots. 5 players in the top 30 moved up over 100 spots in the rankings. 3 players in the top 25 moved up over 150 spots. 16 in the top 100 moved up over 50 spots. 9 in the top 100 moved up over 100 spots. So 10% of the top 100 almost moved up 100 spots or more. Notables that moved down: Peyton Houston, the quarterback.
He dropped like 45 spots.
He dropped 44. He dropped 39 spots from number 5.
Malachi Ziegler dropped. How far? Malachi Ziegler dropped like 45 spots too.
So, but Houston dropped from the player overall number 5 to 44 as a quarterback. So here's my thing.
Like, he's looked good.
I was exactly
Elite 11.
This is my problem, and this is
he got his Elite 11 invite. Or wait, no, he didn't get elite. He got his under. What did he get? He won the underclassman player of the. He won the underclassman
like the accuracy competition or something.
Yeah, him and Ziegler.
So here's the thing: is, and it would be totally cool. I wrote this up in the post. There's a post over on Orange Buds that was like, here's the updates. I said it would be cool. I would be content with this if I just got this right. To me, there's a couple spots here. If you are ranked 225, you move to 5, you either didn't watch the kid the first time, or in a rare case, if
you didn't watch him, you shouldn't have ranked him.
Exactly. Or in the rare case, he went from like a bottom feeder where he's like an everyday 3-star to a high-end 5-star talent in a few months. Because in March, the March update, they had him at 225, this cornerback, right? To me, it's like if you did that, if you do something, especially if it's extravagant like this, you have to write something up like, this player grew 3 inches. We saw him vastly improve in man-to-man technique over the last 3 months with clear physical and mental maturation, allowing us to vault him up 3-4 tiers in the rankings to 5-star status. I would need something. I need something here. I don't want just a number.
Do they give explanations at all? Is that part of the format?
I didn't see any explanations.
Yeah, it's not part of the format. I mean, so it's kind of. I mean, it's a little bit kind of out of pocket. It's completely
cockamamie.
Well, but it's also out of pocket to expect it whenever it's not part of the format of how they produce the content.
I mean, I'm not
maybe like make a separate article or something saying like, hey guys, we're sorry about this crazy stuff. Like we understand it's wild. So we figured we need to make an article to explain ourselves.
Exactly. And here's the thing, like the Meredith kid, the cornerback, went from 229 to 5. And he went from cornerback 23 to cornerback 2 in America. Which, again, the only reason I have the feel that I can talk about this is because, 1, I'm working on rankings for recruiting, and 2, I have a dynasty rankings over at Roster Watch that we work on every single day. And it's like, I move players. I've made rankings for 6-7 years of just like, you just don't do that. You just don't move a guy. Like, my thought kind of in Dynasty, unless it's like this player is going to be out for the season.
You don't even think about it from a dynasty. I mean, your job's also a professional evaluator of football players, and you make lists of them.
No, I know, but this is what I'm saying. Like, in any set, like, I'm trying to say, like, even in the dynasty rankings, like, you might make a big move, but the only time you would make a move that's like 100 plus, which is massive,
is if somebody got
like
hurt.
Tank Dell. Okay, he had 4 ligament damages, and it came out that he's not even going to play football this year. It's like, all right, cool. I can move him 150 spots. Totally. I didn't mischaracterize it though. Like, or in like rookie rankings or in recruiting rankings, it's like I might have a guy at cornerback 12 that I think could probably get up to like 7, 6, but there's no world where I would watch 50 dudes have some dude ranked 23rd and then in like 2 months be like, yeah, now he's the cornerback 2. Like, there's a complete flaw in my process if I did it that way. Couple of other movers that happened. A guy went from 8 to 58, so top 10 player. 26 to 115. Again, 26 is technically a 5-star. 5 stars haven't been given out
yet. That kid's like, what did I do wrong?
Exactly. That's the whole problem here that I'm upset with. And you can scroll through the whole top 250 for next year, and a boatload of dudes are just like 26, 26, 25, 20. Like, that's how far they drop. Just like, and that's fine. I get it. You can move some guys down 20 spots or whatever. Jax DeJean, brother of Cooper DeJean, right? 6'6", 220-pound athlete. This guy's visiting Missouri, Michigan, Iowa. He moved down 170 spots. And if there's like one player that I'm like, or one thing that I'm gonna key on, and I'm gonna not allow me to be like, all right, man, like, I'm worried about this kid, like, it's gonna be some dude with like bloodlines to the NFL, right? Or like a super athlete. This guy's literally listed as an athlete. They moved him from 71 to 240. Again, I haven't watched him, but I'm just saying, like, that doesn't, I'm just trying to get onto a theory here, understand the process here. But I just think it's bad process moving guys 150, 100 spots. And, you know, people in the comments were like, well, it's 2027, so maybe they're just getting a grasp on these guys or watching more film. But my argument to that would be the last time there was an update was March. There's been no football played since March. It's been camps, but in no camp, unless you've seen a guy for the first time in your life and it's like, whoa, that guy's a pud. Like, this is not what I saw on film. Like, this is not there's not enough kids that moved up or down that much that's a realistic answer for you to tell me, well, he had a camp in April, but in March we ranked him. In March we had him as a 44th kid. But now, because he went to one camp, because, you know, you want him to come to camps, he came to a camp and now you dropped him 80 spots. Like, that's just, to me, that's just terrible process. And that's just telling me that either didn't watch the guy in the first place, you didn't give real analysis in the first place, or you were scouting like offers. It asserts to me a big flaw.
Yeah. I think that, I mean, for me, I think that definitely it's something where it's like, you have to, I think you have to give them some look. I'm not standing up for these guys, or, you know, I don't care. It isn't my job to stand up for the rivals recruiting guys, but I will say that I've always given them some grace to make relatively big moves, you know. But like you said, moving it to be the number 5 player in an entire class, Cody. I think you and I know very well that it's like you have to have traits that you can't like if you watched him, like, it can't just be like one good season or something. It's like that's not it. It's not the production of one season. It's not something that you just saw this last year, right? It's not like, oh, like, I didn't realize that about it. Like, no, those traits are there from the sophomore tape. It's like you should be evaluating based on the traits, not based on what you've seen from the, like, oh, he had, 12 picks last year. Like, I have no idea with this guy John Meredith, but it doesn't make it, for one, it doesn't make any sense to me from that perspective. From the other one, it's like, like, if you just look at it, I was looking at it, there's all these guys that move down 28 spots, 27 spots, 35 spots, 42 spots, 44. And it was all to make room for these giant movers up, right? It's like, because there were so many of them. It's like, well, we'll just move this guy down. It's like, so it's a sad fact of all these guys jumping so high. All these other guys, like, it's not like they've done anything wrong to be moving down, but it's just an effectiveness, right? And I'm with you on that. I think it's particularly egregious for one, just like, and why is Ezekiel Iangbile not on there? If they are basing this based on what they've seen in camps, you know, I've been at camps that he's been at. Jason saw him at the Rivals Dallas camp. Like, you got Dwayne Brown's kid out here, like out here looking like he's an edge, like he's been the edge monster. He's built like just a G. I don't understand. If it's based on camps, why is that guy not like one of your 5 stars? He's got the bloodlines. He looks great out there. It's, I mean, what's like, so like, what exactly? And but it's not, I don't think they have I don't think with the On3 stuff, they have new analysts. I don't think they have do they have the new analysts from On3 coming over and commingling with them now?
No. The only thing that I thought could potentially be of question was, I did pull up the 2027 On3 rankings, and John Meredith is the number 2 overall player. And so I wonder, and as soon as I saw that, I said, I wonder if there was a little bit of push here from like the On3 side to say, hey, you got to get these dudes way up. Or like if there was like a miss, or like they had like a list of like 10 dudes that were like, hey, you got to get these dudes way up. You got to get these dudes way down.
Yeah, because no, that has to be it, Coach. I think we talked it out and figured out the answer. Because regardless of whether you agree with Adam Gorney, and regardless of whether you agree with these dudes, you have to give them. And even if you think they're bad,
it's also really hard to just maintain a ranking database of 500 dudes.
Like
I totally get. They got all my respect in the world. I just think that the perceived process here is disingenuous to these kids.
Yeah, but I think that it has to be what it is, because it's like we talked about earlier. There's no way. It's like if I was them in this case, like, I couldn't in good conscience do it. I would just have to say, like, look, man, here's the deal. We screwed up. We had a big miss. We just got to move this kid up to number 100 now, and then the next one we'll get him up to number 50. Then after that, we can get him up to 30 or whatever. Like, exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't just do it. Like,
what did Matt Kelly tell us in Mobile 3 years ago about the rookie rankings?
Oh, he just said he just said, I'm not going to say what he told us, because I'm not going to go anything. I was about to say what he said. I'm not going to say that, because I don't want it to be mischaracterized about me saying something bad that Matt has said about his rankings process, but because it's not like that. But
it's about don't overreact. Basically, just don't overreact too heavily into a certain direction. Like, the process isn't ending tomorrow. It's not about being just because, there's no reason to move a guy 200 spots. A lot can change between now and then. If you think he deserves a bump him. But don't be like, oh, number 1. It's like, all right, you got to build the pedigree. Don't allow your current feeling or your current view of this guy on May 10th be what changes Peyton Houston. Like 5 to 44.
Or Ziegler. What has he done wrong?
I don't understand any of these.
He hasn't had
quarterbacks. Especially quarterbacks, dude. Like
who've gone to your camps and who've performed well. So like I said, here are two things that we know. For one, I need to go watch the Eulis kid for sure,
John Meredith.
And when I do, I'm sure I'll see traits that are elite. And what the Rivals guys just need to realize is they missed on a guy that has elite traits. It's fine. They start commingling a little bit with the On3 dudes. They realize that they're about to be part of this network. Like, we're really going to come in with 2027 rankings whenever, and I don't know when the whole merge. I don't know when it's all happening, right? They've talked to, if you have questions about that, you can go to Shannon Terry's X feed, and he's talked about when things could be happening as far as the rollout and stuff like that. But it feels like before the next season starts, it's going to be, these things are going to be merged together. And in doing so, I feel like those guys are probably getting their ducks in a row. They're like, oh, well, let's see what the on-3 guys have. And they're like, well, wait, we have this guy 220. It's like, we need to dig in. And when they looked at him, they probably said, yep, we missed. And in doing so, that yeah, like you said, maybe like an article, something accompanying it, something saying it's like, hey, man, like, and that's not the only thing. Like you said, there was 10% that had movements of over 100.
10% of the top 100, 9% technically, 9 of the top 100 moved up 100 spots. 16 of the top 100 moved up over 50 spots.
Gosh, man,
Just big movements, dude. And like you said, it's causing guys that didn't do anything wrong. Like, think about that. If 16 dudes went up 50 spots, I mean, 16 dudes had to fall, for whatever reason. It's like
no, a lot of followers of like 20
yeah.
plus. Yeah, it's like it's just, I mean, the prices at Specs are falling 25% on tequila right now. You guys should go check out the tequila sale. And thanks to the almost 500 of you that are watching right now between X and YouTube. Boy, a really meager live crowd on YouTube tonight, but a bunch of people over on X and on Facebook. Thanks to everybody for watching, and thanks to Specs for making sure that you guys can be with us here on the Specs chat line.
It's tequila time. Who's ready for a margarita? Shake things up all month long with discounts on Blancos, Reposados, and Añejo tequila during Specs Tequila Sale.
All right. Cheers to savings. Cheers to tequila. Cheers to the mariachi music and all of it. Cody, I don't think we're going to have time to get to the Josh Pate discussion tonight, but let's hold off on it for tomorrow. I have a lot of thoughts about his top 20, and I have a lot of thoughts on it because we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it tomorrow, because
Speaking of percentages, half the teams are from the SEC.
I don't mind. All right. Now you can email us, fwfemails@gmail.com. You can find us on X at Cody Carpentier, at Alex Dunlap NFL. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks to our great sponsors, Poncho Outdoors, Specs Wine, Spirits, and Finer Foods, Texas Beef Traders, and of course, Andy Ludicky over at myperfectfranchise.net. Go to myperfectfranchise.net, man. Go change your life forever, man. Andy's the coolest dude. He's going to talk you through the franchise that you need to find for you. All right. Please like the show. Please subscribe to the channel. Please, if you're watching it for the first time, we're here every night, 6 p.m. Come back and check us out again. And if you dig the show and you want to help us grow, like so many of you have, please let your friends know, forward the show. Let them know they don't have to watch it live. They can watch it like 99% of you do, and that's usually the day after. It's just the nature of the beast, man. Nightly show, but we appreciate you guys being here live. We appreciate you guys who are watching on the replay. We can't thank you enough. We like to get in, get out, talk football. We're very, very respectful of your time. But if you could please just like the show, subscribe to the channel, do those 4 things that we talked about. Share the show. Come back, and do it for Cody's dog. I don't think they've ever seen your dog on here on the show. What is that? What do you call that thing? A Courtney Spaniel or something? A Corgi Spaniel?
Cavalier King Charles.
Cavalier King Charles. Well, let him go out there and go chase around those ducks in the rain, right? Love you guys. God bless you. We got a really kitty cat looking dog. For Cody, I'm Alex. We're done.